Today we are going to be talking about writing your counter-argument paragraphs. A counter-argument is the opposite point of view from the writer. You have your own claim, and a counterclaim or a counter-argument is the opposite of your point of view. The counterclaim is the topic sentence of your counter-argument paragraph. In your paragraph, you have two things to do. Acknowledge the counterclaim and disprove it with a rebuttal. We're going to talk about a little later what that is. So an example of the claim, which is the one I've been using, there should be mandatory drug testing in schools. The counterclaim is there are those who claim that mandatory drug testing is a violation of students' privacy. That's the opposite from my claim. So that is why it's a counterclaim. Step one is to acknowledge the counterclaim. How do we do this? In order to acknowledge the counterclaim, you have to show that you know what the opposing claim is. Now, we talked about what ethos is and that ethos builds trust. You do this by showing that you know what the other party's ideas are to help build trust and authority in your reader, that you know what you're talking about. So you acknowledge the counterclaim by stating it and then giving a reason for support for the counterclaim. Here's an example. There are those who claim that mandatory drug testing is a violation of students' privacy. They say making students pee in a cup is not a school's job. You have your claim and then a reason of support. The next thing that you have to do, step two, is to disprove the counterclaim with a rebuttal. A rebuttal is basically you saying you are wrong and here's why. We talked about in this paper, the format of it is here's my argument, here's what you think, and here is why I'm correct. This is why you are saying here is why I'm correct again. The rebuttal is another supporting reason why your point of view is correct. You must use a quote, paraphrase, or summary with a citation or source tag. This is an example with a paraphrase and citation. However, other tests may be available, such as hair testing. This is not an invasion of a student's personal privacy. So this is, again, another reason of support for your claim. Then we put them all together. So you have a counterclaim, a reason for support of the counterclaim, but then you rebut that with a citation or a source tag. There are those who claim that mandatory drug testing is a violation of a student's privacy. They say making students pee in a cup is not a school's job. However, other tests may be available, such as a hair testing. This is not an invasion of a student's personal privacy. So we're going to just very briefly review. In order to write your counterargument and your claim paragraph, you must acknowledge the counterclaim by stating it and giving reasons that support it, disprove with a rebuttal by giving a supporting reason why your point of view is right, using a quote, paraphrase, or citation. We are now going to do an activity called oral debate. I will give these instructions in class.